you use the word ontology and you speak about it obviously very, very passionately, and you have written about this extensively on LinkedIn, on your blog, on your website. Uh, a lot of people listening think about ontologies and taxonomies as English words. It's very difficult for them to relate these concepts as things living inside an AI agent, if you know what I mean. Right? Can you break that down for the audience? Like, what is it? How should one attempt to understand those two words? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, I guess I should say before starting with the definition that the argument of whether this is the right thing to do or not is now over. It's completely won. So, you've got the Databricks ontology, you've got the Snowflake doing like an OSI version of the ontology. Amazon's doing something, Google's saying you've got the Microsoft ontology. So there's no kind of doubt now that this has kind of gone from like a niche thing to consensus amongst all of the major players that this is the way forward for conveying meaning to your AI agents. So then, what is an ontology? It's a conceptual model of your world. So if you're in the business of running trains, then the conceptual ontology is about tracks and trains and the speed that they're going and signal boxes and all of this sort of thing. If you're a hospital, then your ontology is about patients and beds. And so whatever kind of niche that you're in, and that can go down to like a really low level. So maybe you're in law and it's about like these very precise legal concepts, or in engineering and it's about like these very detailed things about how a machine fits together. Whatever that area is, it's getting very clear about those concepts and also how those concepts relate to each other. So we're not just talking about a schema like you would put in a database table here. We're talking about a rich conceptual model that is linked together, and more than that, it's done in a formalism. Natural language is super powerful, and that's what the large language models are dealing in. And we can kind of say anything that we want to in natural language, which makes it very, very powerful. But it's not a formal language. Computer language, for instance, is an example of a formal language, or mathematics is an example of a formalization. And with those, they give you the same results every time that you go execute them. So you go execute a computer program, it's going to give you the same results. You go execute a mathematical function, it's going to give you the same results. You put certain parameters in and it's going to give you the results over. And that's what we call like a formalism. And then, so what an ontology is it's using first order predicate logic. So it's using logic, this sort of like 2,000-year-old idea of logic, and it's putting that into a formalism, such that we can like deterministically say, if I've created this conceptual model of the domain that I'm interested in, I'm now making that domain verifiable. I can ask questions of it and I'm going to get the same deterministic answer back. Now, why is that important? Well, it's kind of good on its own, but it's rocket fuel, it's dynamite once you pair it up with a large language model, which has exactly the kind of opposite thing to that. It's not a formalism. It's based upon natural language. It can do poetry. It can go wherever it wants, which is like its absolute superpower. It can do these amazing things. But sometimes we don't want it going wherever it wants. If we're in a precise domain within a hospital and a patient is about to be issued a certain amount of drug, we don't want you being creative there. There's a very prescriptive path that you want to go down, and you must not diverge from it. If we're designing a machine or operating a machine, again, use your creativity to do the analysis of what's going wrong here, but like, no, don't put that cog there. That would be absolutely disastrous and would blow the whole thing up. And so there's this kind of balance that we want between like a formal specification and the creativity, and that's what ontologies are bringing to the picture, basically, like bringing together with the large language models the clear semantics of what needs to be done, but within this formal deterministic structure.